All right. Test.
Test.
Call it again?
Convincing idiots.
Convincing idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the Statman, not just anyone's opinion, the Statman Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
And we're back on Convincing Idiots. We are joining you from the depths of the multiverse. That's right. Straight from the multiverse to your ear holes. I am Millennial Nick. I'm alongside Xennial Dean and GenX Brian, and we are here on a very important mission. We have very important information to relay to you. Very important spoilers to relay to you. So, once again,
We're
if
listening.
you've listened this far, or somehow did not hear before we took our last break, if you have not seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we must politely request that you go fuck off until you have seen it. Because then
Correct.
you will be able to join. Right now, you may not be worthy. However, if you have seen the new Doctor Strange movie, well, you're in probably the third best place to listen to spoilers about the Doctor Strange movie. Okay?
But those
All right.
people that you told them to fuck off, Nick, how they, if they're gonna go fuck off, how would they go fuck off?
How would they go fuck off? Well, I can tell you how they might fuck off. Well, the best way to fuck off might be on their very own electric scooter from RPM Bike Shops. That's right. Our friends from RPM Bike Shops will hook you up. All you have to do is go to facebook.com, the website, and search for RPM Bike Shop. Okay, they have an amazing selection of electric bikes for you. You can also give them a call at 330-808-7792, and fear not, because they are located, if I didn't already say, they are right here in our neck of the woods, not too far from here in Carterton, Ohio. So after you have acquired your new bike, electric bike from RPM Bike Shop, you can take that sumbitch down to the movie theater. You can go see Doctor Strange 2, and you can fuck on and rejoin us back
Full
for the
circle.
conclude. That's right. It all comes back like a goddamn portal. All thanks to our good friends at RPM Bike Shop. So give them a call today. So, I'm imagining now you're hitting resume. You've fucked off. You've received your electric bike. You've gone to the
There you
theater.
go.
You're fucking back on. And now
Did
we are
you guys
ready.
know that Carrollton, Ohio was named after Carol Brady from the Brady Bunch?
I don't think that's accurate, but
Okay.
is it?
I'm not allowed to tell you. Anyways.
Is it? I don't know. Huh?
Nope.
I don't think so.
No, I think, well, I may have heard that from somebody. I don't know.
I was just placing my wager. I found you to be a liar in that moment, so I called you on it. But if I'm wrong, you tell me. Brian, Statman, is Carrollton, Ohio named after Carol Brady?
I'm sure it's not. So, yeah.
He's not even going to Google it. It's not even worth the
I'm
Google.
gonna waste
It's
I'm
not
gonna-
It's not worth his time.
No, I'm going to waste the energy to even
Sure.
type in the letter C in the search. Yeah.
I'm sure it's not.
I can just imagine what comes up when you first type in C in your search, what that automatic history pops up as. I bet it rhymed with rock. Anyways, what?
I was thinking of jump without a P.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
I don't think pump is a word, but all right.
Huh?
Never mind. Multiverse of Madness. All of us have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it a couple weeks ago.
First question I have for you guys is, so now it's been out for about a month. Less than a month. So May 6th. So we're shooting this on May 17th. So it's only been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I have the domestic box office for 2022 up here in front of me. This is the second thing I pulled up after what is Carrollton named after.
What is a domestic
Today.
box office? Is for the people listening that don't know? Is that when someone assaults a box office, or
no? So this is just U.S. money made in the United States. Okay.
You were so close.
Right. Just for the people at home. I know what it means. I just didn't know.
Of course.
If the people at home know.
Mhm.
So I would think that you would think that Doctor Strange is at least in the top 10 highest grossing movies of the year so far. Would you agree?
I would think.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's a Marvel movie. It's a big,
we're in May.
Sure.
What about would you say it's in the top 5?
As far as big hype movies, yeah, I think that's probably fair to say, maybe.
Okay. What would you say it'd be in the top 3 even by now?
Either you're leading us to the fact that it's number 1, or it's like not even in the top 10. It's 20 or something. I would say it's 4. I'm going to say 4.
Can I guess? Since I read probably the same article as you did.
Sure.
I'm going to guess it's 2.
You are correct. Yeah.
What's number 1? Let's talk about that movie.
The Batman is number 1.
Yeah,
and we did talk about the Batman. So the Batman is $369 million.
Rightfully so. That's great.
Doctor Strange has now surpassed domestically Spider-Man No Way Home. So Doctor Strange is already number 2 at $297.4 million. Spider-Man No Way Home is $231 million. And somehow Sonic is number 4 at $176 million.
How the fuck is that possible?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because Knuckles is in it, bruh. And Tails and the whole thing.
Yeah, so I was actually surprised it was already that high domestically. And I have not looked at well, actually, we can say worldwide. How about that? Let's say worldwide. Worldwide. Where would you place it worldwide?
Well, worldwide, I'd have to say it's probably number 1.
I would agree.
It's actually also number 2. The Batman is $768 million worldwide.
Okay.
Doctor Strange, though, $703.8 million. So it may surpass the Batman. Holy cow.
Those are some impressive stats, Mr. Statman.
Yeah.
They are. Nobody stats like you.
Nope.
That's right. So so clearly it's a huge hit for Marvel. Box office wise.
Now, do you think that people are going back to see it?
Shirt keeps getting more and more unbuttoned, doesn't it? Is it open all the way?
I didn't think you noticed. Each time we come back from break, I've been unbuttoning another button.
I don't know
see
that
if you would notice.
I don't know that side left and side right are tethered to one another at all at this point.
All right, so
it's a treat for the YouTube viewers. Sorry,
that's
if you're
right.
listening on audio, you don't get that.
Now you have to go watch the video.
That's right.
So, yeah. Now, do you think people are going to see this like over and over again, or they're going based on what their friends have said, or do you think that they're going on the perceived hype that everybody kind of has put before it?
I would have to say
what the expectation.
I'd have to say the latter, the last one, right? I mean,
I would think
just
so
the hype
too.
of it. I mean, I think that we all had our ideas of all, we talked about it in prior episodes, and Dean, you had said that you're like, oh man, all the different possibilities and all the different people that could, almost like a Spider-Man No Way Home-esque kind of thing. Just the, kind of the, you had the idea of who would be in it. And I think that movie did deliver as far as like the people you thought were going to be in it were. And then there was also extras that you didn't know about. And, it really kept you like, oh, wow. There's, so maybe I think that laid the groundwork probably for this movie. And people went, ooh, if all this happened in Spider-Man and this is Doctor Strange and all, it's who knows who could be in it, where,
the
and
possibilities
how and
are endless.
Right.
Now, okay. Go ahead, Brian.
I was to say, I think it's a combination. I think it's that. Clearly, it's getting good word of mouth, so people are telling their friends to go see it. Probably for some of the reasons you just said, as far as there's some surprise characters in the movie, which we'll talk about. And frankly, I think it's also bringing in a different audience that may Yeah, I'm sort of interested in Marvel movies. I'm okay, but I like horror movies. I like Sam Raimi type movies. So
Right.
I'm wondering if there's people that are just more of that Sam Raimi or the horror type movie that are going to check this movie out because of the word of mouth that they're hearing for just a completely different vibe. I don't know if it's completely different, but it's definitely a different vibe of
It is a
Marvel
horror movie.
Yes.
Like listed in the categories for Hollywood. It is now listed as a horror movie. It is the first Marvel movie to be listed as a horror movie.
Yeah, it's
Really?
definitely a Sam Raimi movie. There's no question about it. It's definitely it's a more of a Sam Raimi movie than the first Spider-Man for sure that he directed. Now
Right.
20 years ago, by the way. We should recap that another
Which one
episode,
was
by the
that?
way. The Tobey
Which one?
Maguire. The Tobey Maguire first Spider-Man.
The first one? Okay.
He directed that
Okay.
years ago.
Oh, so he is capable of doing bad movies, is what you're saying.
That's not a bad movie.
I think that was a
Okay.
really good movie, actually. Yeah, the first two Spider-Man movies I really liked.
You guys
Yeah.
keep that up. I'm gonna start buttoning up the shirt and taking away the treats.
we should recap that in another episode, seriously, because I think it's been 20 years since that first movie came out.
Actually, that's not a bad
Yeah.
idea to pick like some random older movie and then review that. That's not bad.
Yeah, rewatch it and go back and yeah. Anyway,
Can I pick Falcon and Winter Soldier?
You can, sure. Go right ahead. Watch it as many times as you want to.
Okay, so guys, did it lead up, or did it your expectations? Did it surpass them? Did it meet them? What say you,
go ahead, Nick.
Brian? Nick?
Is it Brian or Nick? Who's starting?
Go ahead, Nick.
Sir, I'm not used to taking the reins, so you.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how to do this. You're like a
Brian,
dog
Brian
with a car.
just bitch slapped me and said, "No, it's my job."
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. It did not deliver on as far as kind of what we were talking about, as far as like, oh, all these possibilities, all these different things. I mean, yeah, there were appearances in it and things like that, a couple, but it wasn't. It was nowhere near like what Spider-Man was for me, where I was like, wow, like this was, and it really held me. And I mean, in typical Nick and Doctor Strange fashion, I dozed off a couple times. Like, I mean, I didn't miss anything because I mean, and I was also a little banged up from the night before, but I did, parts, it was slow moving at times for me. And I was kind of like, okay. I did enjoy it. I thought it was good. I wouldn't see it another time. I liked the first Doctor Strange better. So it didn't, for me, all this hype and all this thing of like this next big thing in Marvel, the next phase and all the things it could bring in and lay the groundwork for. I mean, I'm sure there's certainly a lot of things you could do with it, but for me, it was underwhelming for the hype that I had it perceived to be in my mind of like what the possibilities could be for it, personally.
Okay, Brian.
In the sense of, I thought there would be a lot more multiverse type stuff. I thought there would maybe see more universes. I thought maybe we would see more, even very brief.
You did just in flashes, like very brief.
Yeah, I thought we'd see more, even very brief characters. But when the Illuminati came out in Earth, was it 8-3? I was just reading it. I didn't know. I mean, I wouldn't know this without reading up on it, but it's on a different universe. When the Illuminati made an appearance with those characters, that got me very excited to see Patrick Stewart come back and reprise his role as Professor X. And it was the Professor X in the chair, like from the animated X-Men series.
Mm-hmm.
And to see John Krasinski come out as Reed Richards, that was something
fun.
that
was cool.
The
Looking
fans
identical to the fan art that everybody would put out.
And Kevin Feige, they talked about that because that was just something he said that came out of nowhere online that people were saying, oh, he should play Reed Richards, and we talked
and then
about
he even
that.
grew the beard for it.
Yeah. He looked great in the suit, and it was very cool to see Reed Richards in general back on the screen. That got me very excited to see that. And then, Captain Carter, and all that whole Illuminati was very, very cool to see that. So that definitely lived up to a lot of hype in that respect. But anyway, I thought we'd see more of that, but I was surprised at the level of the horror element in the movie that I was not really expecting. To see Wanda turn very dark, zombie Doctor Strange.
That was cool.
Doctor Strange making the cloak out of the evil spirits, demons, the Sam Raimi deaths in the movie.
Right, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
A couple of the over-the-top deaths of the Illuminati when
That was my favorite
which
part.
killed them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Bruce Campbell. I mean, Bruce Campbell again making a great appearance, and then even kind of hearkening back to the Evil Dead when his own hand is attacking him like an Evil Dead 2. So, all things considered, it definitely met my expectations, and I had a lot of fun with it. So that's what I think initially. Dean, what were your thoughts? Did it live up to your expectations, or not so much?
Okay. All right. So you both are right. I had, like we probably talked about it before, I had these expectations of these very cool multiverses and these different characters that you could see. So did I build it too much up in my head? Yeah, probably. But it's visually, the movie is stunning.
Mm-hmm.
For what they had, what they worked with, the multiverses and the at least even in that brief thing where they're breaking through all the multiverses, that was very cool. But it was underwhelming to the aspect of what my expectations were. But I enjoyed the hell out of the movie. I thought it was great. I liked, like Brian said, all the Sam Raimi aspects of it. I enjoyed the cameos that we did get. Now, when Reed Richards, zapped in there, popped in there, did it have that same visceral pop in you that it did when the thing opened up and and Andrew Garfield turned around? No, it just.
Right.
I think John Krasinski. I think it's because you already have that. You already had that character from that universe. Is a known thing. John Krasinski is more of a pipe dream that came true. So I think that's why it didn't get that pop.
I was expecting to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in the Spider-Man
Right,
movie.
but it still was exciting.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
Right.
But to me, it didn't have the same pop as the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. I was still excited.
Right.
I would have preferred that they didn't give you Dr. X or Professor X in the trailer. I think that should have been held off.
Yeah,
and
that would have been better.
The whole Illuminati should have been introduced. I think that hurt it a little bit in my head.
Now, this is a question that Robin asked, and I didn't obviously have an answer for, but she was wondering why. She goes, "Why are some characters the same, the version of them, and some are not? Like, why was, Reed Richards a different version of himself than anyone's seen before, and yet, like, Patrick Stewart, as Professor X was the same one that we've seen, and why, you know what I mean? Like, were those is it just as simple as
I have the answer?
It's made up universes and you can do whatever you want. Like, some can be the same,
well,
different
of course,
versions
that's
of.
the literal answer. I mean,
there's really no rules, I guess, because
right.
It's, and with the multiverse, you can always be like, ooh, this one's from this area and this one's this version.
Well, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Well, look at Loki.
You had different versions of Loki, right, and things like that.
But there was some that looked exactly like him.
Right.
President Loki, the main evil one when they got to the Badlands or whatever, looked exactly like him. Other ones didn't. So
Allie brought that up. She said that would have been cooler. That she really liked that aspect, which I did as well. That in the Loki series, where you had, like you say, completely different Lokis. You had a boy, you had the old man Loki, looked like the comic book. You had a crocodile Loki. Why couldn't they have explored different? She said it's Benedict Cumberbatch with a different hairdo in all these other universes, and he's different, a little
Right.
bit, but
Right.
so, yeah, they could have done a little bit more with different creature type Doctor Stranges or something like that. But,
Sure. And it's not even inconsistency of the writing. This isn't the same guy who wrote it. It was the same guy who wrote Loki.
Okay.
So it's the same guy, given the same thought process.
That's not like, that never occurred to this person to like write it that way.
I also think that visually, that's the sight gag you were going for Loki. You were being surprised. He was because you're looking at it from his point of view. He's being surprised every time he turns around and sees, and he knows, like he looked at Alligator Loki and knew he was a Loki. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, but for Doctor Strange, when that guy turns around, if you don't see like, the old soap opera thing where they just put a mustache on the same actor and call him his evil brother. If you don't see that evil brother turn around, you don't have that same reaction. You know what I mean? Because you don't know that he's Doctor Strange yet. At least with it, when it's the same actor turns around and it's the sinister Strange, us as a audience knows that's a Doctor Strange variant. If not, you don't have that same turnaround and surprise. You now have to turn around and then explain to the audience that he's Doctor Strange.
Sure,
That's my opinion on why they did it for the movie, writing wise.
Okay.
Now, for the universe wise, it's like Swiss cheese. You could take the multiverse has all these holes. All the holes of the Swiss cheese are different universes. Every piece of Swiss cheese, like in a pack, you start mixing up and putting them together, they're not going to line up. Some will. So those ones that line up, those will look like each other. The other ones, they're not going to have the same look because they're from their universe is so much different. But there are few that line up over here aren't going to line up over here. But on the other side, those line up, so those might look like each other.
What a really well done analogy, might I say. And
thank you.
explained well. Like honestly, like that was
Thank you.
that made a lot of sense. I'm like, that's a really good analogy for that. Swiss cheese. I
Thank
like
you.
that.
Hold on, you get another button for giving me such praise.
Hey! I knew I could get that fucking shirt off. Here we go. We're on our way. No, it was. It made a lot of sense when you put it that. I'm like, yeah, that's a good
you.
analogy. Yeah.
Literally off the top of my head.
Yeah, very well done. Nice
Thank
job.
Don't hurt yourself. Pat yourself on the fucking back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do it shirtless. That's what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Brains and chesticles.
So,
Well, go ahead.
go ahead, Brian. No.
They can always do more with it as it expands. Clearly, this storyline is not over with. They're going to have another
Right.
Doctor Strange movie. They've now introduced other characters to take it into the next part of the story. So who knows what they'll do? They could have their version of the Doctor Strange in the future. Now that they sort of introduced this storyline. So what did you think of that? So let's talk about that for a second here. So you had a new character, Charlize Theron. I did not know who she was until I looked it up here. So, do you guys happen to know who she is portraying?
No.
Go ahead.
She is. Do you remember Dormammu, the big evil bad guy that he kept fighting at the very end of the first one?
Yes.
It's his niece.
Oh.
So it's
Okay.
this big cloud, celestial head guy's very attractive niece.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. Well,
Okay.
Did you watch the end of Eternals?
I have not seen Eternals. No.
God damn it, Nick. At what point are we allowed to spoil it for you?
Now, I don't know if I will. So just go ahead.
Okay. The end of Eternals, there is a character that they introduce, which is Thanos's half or stepbrother. I think half brother. One of them, I think half brother.
Okay.
Is that? But it is Harry Styles is going to play.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what I said. I figured
Star
you
Fox.
would Star
Yeah.
Fox. But Harry Styles plays that character, and he was the cameo at the end in the post-credit scene.
Star Fox, as in like the video game character?
No.
No.
He's another Star Fox in the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
Another
he's
Star
like a
Fox.
whore. Like he's gonna go around fucking everything in this universe.
Oh,
He has the
Mhm.
power of like
and it's Harry
influence
Styles.
and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
But you start bringing up these characters of like these big characters that we saw in the first few phases. You're now bringing in their children, their brothers and sisters, or you're keeping it in the family instead of introducing. You can introduce like whole new different characters, but I think they're introducing a lot of these just to kind of keep it in the family, to kind of keep you intrigued. Oh, this
Like they
is
have they're tethered to a character you already know and are super aware of,
Correct.
and like are
correct.
right. Makes sense.
Yeah,
Kinda like
Charlize
what
Theron. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Her character is Clea. Okay, so Clea was introduced in 1964 in a Doctor Strange comic. So Clea eventually becomes Doctor Strange's wife in the comics. So she's also a sorceress.
Makes for strange bedfellows.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, so she
Take your
mentioned,
fucking shirt off already, all right? We laughed at you. Just take your shirt off.
she mentioned in the movie that he created an incursion. So an incursion is when two universes collide, and one can result in the destruction of the other or both. So now, obviously, that's going to lead into the next movie where they're going to go and fight together. He meets her, and now Doctor Strange has a new love interest introduced, and they'll do whatever. We'll see what happens with this new incursion storyline. So it'll be interesting.
I don't know if you're going to see the incursion storyline happen in a Doctor Strange movie per se. I think that because you're looking at and I think that's why they didn't go into all these wild multiverse things that I was hoping for in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I think that they give you a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a little bit with Loki. They give you a little bit with the Eternals. I think it's kind of like the first phase of the Marvel cinematic universe is they introduce all these characters, build up to the Avenger movie. You know what I mean? I think all of these are going to build up, and then you're going to culminate in probably the Secret Wars movie. I'm going to guess that'll be this phase's big blow off.
Yeah, that's a question I had here too. Yeah. So what happens next? So now, obviously, Captain America is gone. Iron Man is going to we got the Falcon playing Captain America now, taking on the mantle. But the original
movie of that, right?
I think so. I think it's going to be the next Captain America movie. Is going to have the Falcon as Captain America. But the original actors, I'm trying to say, the original actors are, aging, their contracts, and it's just whatever. So a lot of the original Avengers, we're going to start to see less of them. And
who's Hawkeye?
Hawkeye is going to be
no. Hold on, let me rephrase. I'm sorry, and explain. When I say Hawkeye, I mean Benjamin Franklin Pierce from the TV show MASH. MASH ran for 11 seasons, and they brought in so many different. Replace so many characters with new characters and stuff, but Hawkeye was the constant presence. They have to have one character.
Thor.
Is that
because he's already there's already a new Thor movie. He's already been involved in other
But
will
Chris Helmsworth stay? And I mean not only character, but the same actor, one actor that stays throughout all the phases to kind of bridge all of it together.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that, but I mean, I would say because he's a god and he's from another world and he's he seems the likely choice. I mean, Iron Man's already dead. Like you said, Captain America's gone. Like all these different characters are gone, and Black Panther will be played by someone different, and so on and so forth. We've got all these different turnovers, but Thor. I mean, Chris Hemsworth is already taking on Thor in a new role coming up, and like I said, being the fact that
Galaxy,
right, being the fact that you could do that with that character because he's a god and he's, you have an excuse to not replace him or to.
And who doesn't want to stare at him through all 78 movies?
Right, exactly.
Maybe Bruce Banner, somewhat. I don't know, but yeah, Thor probably makes the most logical choice. Well, you get, so now I guess the older veterans. Now you got Thor. Doctor Strange now is becoming more that veteran character, and Bruce Banner, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
Now,
Yeah, I mean, all the other big original ones pretty much are gone.
Now,
Yeah.
would you like to see, like, say, I think, in my opinion, when it comes to Civil War or the Secret War, I think that's when you're gonna see, because it's not only multiverse, but I think one of them's they're doing one TV show about the Skrulls, aren't they?
Yeah, that's going to be coming up. Yes, absolutely. So yes, that's
Okay.
right. That they're saying that could be the next big thing, to where that was a huge storyline in the comics, to where
Right.
you just did
But are
not
they
know
gonna?
who was
Is
a
that going to be the
Skrull.
same as? I mean, is that going to fuck with the multiverse situation going on? I mean, that seems like you're serving two masters on that. Or do you just keep it separate? In the TV show, you'll fight the Skrulls, but in the movies, you'll do multiverse. I don't know.
I think they would probably tend to keep that. I think it's too much in one storyline, to where
Right.
you can
Very confusing.
You can, yeah. So you can have Tony Stark pop out of somewhere, and he's a Skrull all of a sudden.
Right.
So it's
I'm
like,
not the
it gets
biggest
a little
fan
bit
of
too,
this idea
yeah,
of the
so I
Skrull
think
thing.
it was interesting in the comics. Is again, you can. Like, they sort of had some of that in the movies, to where it's like you're interacting with somebody for a long time. It could be for years, and find out that person was a Skrull, and the real one is
Then what's the point?
somewhere else.
Okay, so all right, so again, I'll go back to a TV analogy. Look at Saint Elsewhere. You spend, 9 seasons caring about all of these characters and their lives and their troubles and tribulations and their triumphs, and at the end you go, no, it was all make believe. None of it was real. So you're gonna watch. So I'm gonna pay attention to, say, Hawkeye for
That's how I
all
feel
of
about
these
this Maple Leaf
movies.
season, actually.
Right, and at the end, disappointment. But you know what I mean? Like Hawkeye, you care about him and his family and everything he's gone through. And then this next movie, they come up and go, nope, he's been a Skrull all along. It's not get that guy. You know what I mean? It kind of seems cheap to me. Or
Yeah, I don't
cheap.
know, unless they're looking to bring back somebody that they've killed off or something somehow that
Okay.
way. I don't know. I don't know.
I vote Chadwick Boseman. Let's bring him back somehow.
I got some sad news for you, Nicholas.
Mm.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if that would be the next big, but I like the idea, Dean, of the Secret. Actually, I'm wearing a Secret Wars T-shirt tonight. This is a cover of the first Secret Wars back in the 80s, which was a terrific series, by the way. And that's where Spider-Man got his black suit, which became Venom originally. It was a very good storyline back then. So, the Beyonder would be interesting, or they could have a different character besides the Beyonder in this Marvel universe, to bring all the heroes and supervillains together into a planet somewhere where they fight. That would be an interesting storyline for sure. And that's where you could probably introduce for that storyline. Now you could bring in the mutants.
Sure.
Get the X-Men into the universe that way for sure. You could bring in the Inhumans again. You already have the Black Bolt version now, reintroduced here in the Doctor Strange movie. You could potentially pull in the Fantastic. There's all kinds of different things you could do with that Secret Wars. So I'd love that idea. They've had two or three different versions of the Secret Wars now in the comics, but
Well, that's the thing is with the Secret
the
Wars, if
premise.
you're doing a multiverse of it, that's when you can see Tom Cruise come in as Iron Man. Of these different characters everybody suspected, you can have a different version of or hell, if you can talk Robert Downey Jr. coming back. You know what I mean? There's so many different things you could do.
Yeah.
Nobody's really gone, like Luke Skywalker once said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be I don't know. So it seems like the multiverse direction is probably. It seems like that's where they're going to go for a while. You're going to have probably the continued space adventures with the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Thor. You got the multiverse now and the whole expanded world of sorcery and all that with the Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch now, and now with Clea So you got that.
And not forget the big old bad with Kang the Conqueror. He's coming in.
Got Kang out there, and then
Yep.
there's other villains that there's rumored that start to make an appearance, and the High Evolutionary I read here, and there's a few other ones that are big villains that could be brought into the universes with these other storylines as well. So,
and I'm not saying that he needs his own movie, but can we just do more than a quick cameo of Howard the Duck, please? Come on.
I would imagine that at some point that will.
I know,
What
right?
was that a cameo in? I forget what the end of what?
He was in the background of one of them, but I know he
Guardians
was
of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, but
Yeah,
he was also in
clip.
Yeah, but he was also at the end game. He was in the big battle.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
when they start panning across all the portals opening up, he had this giant gun that he walked out with. Yep. Look for it. Howard the Duck.
Is this like the Carol Brady Carrollton thing?
No. This is 100% true. And that's not something
in the Avengers Endgame, you're telling me
Correct.
that Howard the Duck was in the fucking movie?
Yes. 100%. YouTube banter. I will look up the pic. I will show you. It's not even something that like I read or looked up. I remember in the theater going, "Hey, look, it's Howard the Duck."
Okay.
Brian is not convinced. He just says,
well, that is my
you
job.
are one
to
idiot
convince
who is
him.
not convincing him. Not today. Not right now.
Okay. I also read the rumors that they may develop we talked about in our Hulk episode last week, Dean, that why haven't we seen more potential standalone movie ideas for the Hulk?
Especially considering the guy that plays the Hulk has never played him in a standalone movie. There have been standalone Hulk movies, but none with Mark Ruffalo as him, which is kind of odd.
Yeah, so one that they're talking about, the rumor is the.
All right. Can you see this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
There he is.
That kind of that's right.
Jesus. Okay.
No, Howard the Duck. It'd be weird that you got those two confused.
Is that Jesus? Close, Howard the Duck.
Don't worry, people mix them up all the time.
No, but
And on the third day, Howard the
World
Duck rose again.
That's right. World War Hulk. There as the rumors. That's one where
that'd be fun.
the Hulk was originally banished to Planet Hulk and became Planet Hulk, which you've already kind of done in
Ragnarok.
So Hulk fought as a gladiator, but then after that he basically wanted to go back and take revenge on those who banished him, who were heroes like Doctor Strange and others.
Sure.
And it was a whole big storyline there, so that's a possibility.
Well, it was the Illuminati who did it.
That's right. Yes. That's right.
Speaking of all these multiverses, wouldn't it be super dope if like one of the versions of Hulk was like Hulk Hogan?
That would be awesome.
Like
Sure.
a hulked out Hulk Hogan.
Sure.
Like
They're
a
just
red and
panning
yellow Hulk
They're
Hogan.
just panning across, and you see Hulk Hogan just kind of whittle, like.
Well, I'm thinking like an Incredible Hulk, but like with the handlebar mustache,
Oh.
with a bandana, like he's kind of maybe yellow and red tie-dye in skin color, like one of those like exotic-looking frogs than like the tropics
and
in
instead
the
of
rainforest.
doing this with
And
ripping the shirt off, he just flexes and it just.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. There you go. All right. So, what was you guys' take on the new hero, America? Was it Chavez?
Vespucci.
Yeah.
He discovered America back in like 14 something, or 13
no.
something.
No, America Chavez. So that's the new hero that she had the power to travel across multiverses, which I thought was an interesting superpower. So
I liked her.
I do too.
I'm normally not a fan of child actors.
Is she a child though? I mean, like
she's 16.
Okay. Oh, okay. When you
Yeah.
say child actors, I figure you mean like 12 and under.
No. Even teenagers
Anymore?
annoy me. Right. Until you're 38,
I mean,
I can give a fuck about you.
I was just gonna say, under 30 is a child, and I don't like them.
Fuck them. Okay, yeah, I thought she did great. I thought the character was cool. I kind of actually was expecting to be annoyed by her and the character going into it, but I found no, she's just fine. I can see her being part of the Young Avengers.
Yeah. They never explained that she was a mutant or anything like that. It seems like she just has these powers. So
she's just her own thing. Well, she even said that she'd searched all of the multiverses, and she's the only one of her.
Okay.
So that's an interesting thing that they'll get to explore.
Yeah. Okay.
Where was Squirrel Girl? That was my question.
Pardon?
Squirrel Girl. Where was Squirrel Girl?
Now, are you making this up?
No, that is a Marvel character.
Okay.
Lane was
rumors.
Familiar with America Chavez?
Vespucius.
That there's an animated series that is on Disney Plus that features her and Squirrel Girl and Shuri from Black Panther. And no. But yeah, it is. We're Squirrel Girl. What were you gonna say about Squirrel Girl there, Brian?
No, I heard that the rumors are to play Squirrel Girl in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You can find this over the place online, but that girl that plays in the AT&T commercials, like
the
Lily.
So Lily, yeah.
So she's I think she may have expressed interest in it, but every time when you look up Squirrel Girl, you see a lot of pictures of her
talking about something meat.
Squirrel.
Yeah, sure.
Lily from the AT&T commercial. So I'm just saying, nothing. There's no Marvel character stronger than that girl's buttons on her shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
So, are you guys looking for what are you looking forward to next? Out of everything coming up, all the movies, whatever, everything that's been announced, what are you looking forward to the most?
Well, for me, it's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was just going to jump in, but if you got one, go ahead.
For me, it's easily what I know is happening. It would be the next Black Panther, and it would be the next Spider-Verse. Because these are characters that I'm already super invested in, and the storyline are such that I will. And also the new Thor movie. The new Thor movie, Love and Thunder. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, yes,
correct.
Yeah, those would be my three. But there again, these are all characters I'm super familiar with. I'm wondering if it's going to be because I'm not. I mean, with Star Wars, all the content that comes out, you're still. Even still with Star Wars, I'm like when it strays too far away from the Skywalker saga and characters that I'm familiar with within it.
And you were not going to like the upcoming movies.
I find myself not that interested. It's the same with a lot of the series and different things. And so I wonder with Marvel being that I'm not, I mean, I like the characters that I like. If I'm really going to care that much to latch on to the next wave of these characters I've never ever heard of.
Well, I think that's kind of the question for everybody, really.
Right.
And
I mean, are they going to be able to get me with that? Because, like I said, the things I want to see are the ones of the characters that I know already and I'm familiar with and that I already, have an affinity for. But, I mean, even like Moon Knight, I mean, it's been a good show, but it's like, I've never heard of that character. But it's not the same type of thing as like watching a Spider-Man thing or what, you know what I mean? Because it's a whole different, I don't know, it's foreign to me.
Well, Spider-Man, there's still the name of Spider-Man involved. But I think I had mentioned this before, Nick, about the way Marvel is working, like professional wrestling is, it's one continuous story from 1975 with Bob Backlund to today with Roman Reigns. It's a continuous story. They've just so like in
people change.
Right. And when they do, those people don't just go away. They introduce people while those people are going. And then by the time those people are going, those people that they'd introduce back here catch up.
Right.
So,
and but just like wrestling, once my guys are gone and I don't latch on to new ones,
True.
I don't watch. I haven't watched wrestling in 20 years. I don't know what. Like,
and that's what I'm saying. If they don't latch on, and that's what we got to see is they latch on, but they're not going to stop showing you Doctor Strange and then start showing you Squirrel Girl. They're going to introduce Squirrel Girl back here with Doctor Strange, and then by the time Doctor Strange is gone, you're
familiarized with the character,
Girl.
Right?
So it'll be a seamless transition.
Yeah.
Brian, what were you going to say?
No, I mean, as far as immediate stuff coming out, I mean, I'm definitely interested in the new Thor movie. I like the fact of Thor trying to find his way back to whatever he is. Obviously, Natalie Portman has taken on the mantle of Thor with Mjolnir. I love the dynamic of Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy and him and Star-Lord. They have a good vibe back and forth. That's funny. The next Guardians movie, James Gunn is back at the helm directing that. And, love the first Guardians. Love we've talked about Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. Just James Gunn's style is just
fantastic.
Great for those characters. So I'm sure that'll be a very entertaining one. Series wise, I mean, I'm sort of intrigued by She-Hulk. I do. It is an interesting character.
I read that it's going to be a comedy.
Yeah, I think it seems it'll have a funnier tone to it.
Yeah.
I'm not that interested in Captain Marvel. I'm not interested in that storyline, honestly. I'm looking forward to the Agatha Harkness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, there's a good example of a character I was not aware of, but because of the casting mostly, and watching her in WandaVision, I will watch that because. But that's like I said, the casting's a big part of it.
Introduction and
the actress, and right.
I have no interest in that Miss Marvel show. That's one that I'm not going to watch.
Yeah, not really. I mean, longer term development and storylines, I'm looking forward to. Bringing the mutants back will be great. The eventual Fantastic Four will be done well this time. I'm confident in that. The Spider-Man trilogy is going to be good because obviously how Peter Parker finds his way back to Mary Jane and Ned Leeds. I'm sure there'll be some twists and turns in that with Ned as Venom or whatever they're going to do with all that storyline.
There's rumors that this is when they introduce the other female interests.
Could be with a Black Cat and stuff.
Well, no, girlfriends wise, not just Mary Jane. Mary Jane and what was the other one? No, his girlfriends. Peter Parker's girlfriends.
Gwen Stacy.
Yes, Gwen Stacy. That'll be introduced. Like he'll meet Gwen Stacy now since he doesn't have MJ to date.
Well, we also dated the Black Cat in the comics. I'm trying to say too. That was another Felicia.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
not Felicia. Gotcha. Yeah.
Felicia.
Was it Felicia? Or that's Catwoman, Felicia Hardy. But no, that was Selena. It's Felicia. Felicia is the Black Cat. Anyway. Yeah, I mean...
was her name Felicia?
I think it was Felicia.
Okay.
Was the Black Cat, yeah. I digress. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Those are some of the things I'm looking forward to.
See, for me, I think you're gonna draw me in with Loki, the next scene of Loki.
Yeah.
And the quantum realm, the new Ant.
Ant-Man. Yeah, coming out next year. Yeah,
really because anything you put that dude in, what's his name?
Paul Rudd.
Well, yes, Paul Rudd, but guy playing Kang, Jonathan Majors.
Yeah,
that guy's awesome. So I'm looking forward to anything he does, which I think he'll do a lot more than just those two, since he will be like the constant overlaying bad guy throughout it through this phase.
Yeah.
So yeah, those two for me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do because obviously all the big characters now in their arsenal are all out there, and some are already gone. So it'll be interesting to see what they do to try to create new fans. And like you say, inevitably there's going to be some type of younger version, like you said, the Young Avengers, the New Mutants. Eventually, with younger, they'll introduce those characters and try to draw in new fans. So they got plenty of
Absolutely.
of material in decades of comic books to go back to and refer to. So I think they'll be fine for a while.
Definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it all.
All right, guys. Getting pretty late. Any final thoughts on Doctor Strange or anything else?
Yeah, it's super strange to me that Dean's shirt is not all the way off yet.
Yeah. In another universe, though, he's definitely shirtless.
He's shirtless.
Definitely
for sure.
shirtless. Yeah.
His nipples have been out the whole time in another universe.
And that guy has a much better body. That's why he's
If I could
confident
find
to
that
do
hole
that.
in the Swiss cheese all the way through, that's where I would be.
That's right. Another
thing you put
universe.
your
We're
hole
all three shirtless in another universe right now.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
And interesting. Shirtless and interesting in another universe.
Yeah, it's definitely not this one. Definitely not this one. Well, boys, I think we have. I think we solved the world's problems. If you ask me,
I believe so.
I'd say so.
I believe so. So overall, guys, what's your rating of interrupting Deans for Doctor Strange and the? So again, our rating is the lower interrupting Deans, so the less interrupting is the better. So how many interrupting Deans do you give it, Nick?
I'd probably give it like a 5.
Ooh, okay.
Like I have just so many questions. It's a lot when you're going through different things and going to different people and versions. It's a lot. It was good, but it was middle of the road movie to me. It was certainly not at the top of my Marvel or superhero movies or anything like that. But fine, very good, very enjoyable, but somewhere in the middle of the road for me. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Okay, Dean, how about you?
I'm going 3 or 4, but I'll go 3. Wasn't the best superhero movie, but it was damn fine. Like I said, visually it was great. The acting it's always great with Benedict Cumberbatch and Elizabeth Olsen. So
I was going to say I was going to give it 6 interruptions, but Elizabeth Olsen really shut me up on the line. So I definitely will take away an interruption
she is,
for her.
She's what they call easy on the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Easy on the eyes, hard on the pants.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, I tell you. Brian, what would you give it?
I got about a 3 also. I mean, I really did enjoy it. Again, I love Sam Raimi. I love the horror aspects, like you said, Dean, the visuals, and were astounding. The zombie Doctor Strange was terrific. I love the cloak with the evil spirit. There's so many great visuals in this. Some of it was a little hard to follow in places. I need to go back and probably rewatch it. Maybe that's why it's getting a lot of views, because some people are going back to. I need to maybe go see it again just to catch some stuff, and that's fine with Marvel Studios to go back and watch as many times as you need to, as long as you're buying a ticket, to understand it. But yeah, I really did enjoy it. Like you say, overall, was it as good as the first one? No. It was different. It was interesting. It was fun. But yeah, you get about a 3.
Yeah. I like that they gave you, I mean, regardless of what I was expecting and what I wanted to see with the multiverses, I'm glad that they did solidly stick to that it was a Doctor Strange story. And and the progression of him as a character and as a human.
Yes.
So
I agree. Yeah, it did seem to be that, and it did seem to be the movie that Sam Raimi wanted to make. That I appreciated as well, because we know the last movie he directed was Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, and it was not the movie he wanted to make.
He did Spider-Man 3?
You did all 3, the first ones.
Oh, I thought you were just talking about the first one, like the first one. Oh, okay.
Well,
Spider-Man 3 fucking sucked.
He directed all 3 of those first ones, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did. The third one, he did not want to have too many characters, and they've made him bring in Venom, I think, and too much
Yeah, his
stuff.
hand was
And
forced in a lot of those decisions.
yeah, so yeah, not what he wanted to do. So clearly, this was a movie he wanted to make, and love it or hate it, it was his movie, and I liked it. So
There you go.
Yep.
And whether we like it or not, this was our podcast.
That's right.
That's right.
And whether you like it or not, you just listen to all of it if you're listening to this part.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Hell yeah. So
Hell yeah.
it's a good thing Dean was trying to fill in more space earlier.
With nipple.
That's right. All right, so Nick, do you remind the folks where we can be found, sir, please?
Yes, sir. Well, you can find us alongside Dean's nipples all over the social media accounts, all of which you can find by simply Googling Convincing
He's just
Idiots.
distracted.
Linktree, LINKTREE.
Do your job. Do your job. Do your job.
.com. Or you can go to our website. That is convincingidiots.wordpress. Press as in the way Dean would press his nipples up against a clear pane of glass as to excite one.
Entice.
Yes. So you can also go to our website. Maybe not for Dean's nipples pressed up against a pane of glass. Sorry to disappoint. We'll see what we can do though, Brian. Yeah, we're gonna see what we can do by getting those up there.
We'll talk
some images.
We'll talk to the website team.
We're gonna get some images over to Brian and see what we can do about getting those up there. But so stay tuned for that on our website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So please be sure to go to all those places, like, subscribe, rate, review. If you're still listening to this point, we appreciate you immensely. So for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am a millennial, and my name is Nick.
I am a Xennial, and I am this version of Dean.
I'm GenX Brian.
Have we convinced you to travel through all the Swiss cheese pieces of the multiverse to find the version of Dean where his nipples are constantly exposed?
Did you just see that shit? If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. Come back. You're going to want to.